Hello, I'm Petros, and welcome to my first attempt at Lethal Difficulty in State of Decay 2. This has quickly become one of my all-time favorite games. I found out about it from a friend, and he totally got me hooked on it. I've been playing it a ton. It's only been a couple months. I've put about 170 hours into it, which is a lot for me. And I've mostly
Hang on
played
just
on
a
Dread
sec.
difficulty. I beat that with all the leaders, and I did one on Nightmare. And now I think, well, I
There's
don't really
always
think I'm
another
ready to go up
dead
to
town.
Lethal, but I'm going to give it a shot. So I did a lot of preparation. I played through my last campaign on Dread, pretty much just to prepare for this. I got
I need a
these three
breather.
characters ready. I got all their skills maxed out where I want them. I equipped them with all the weapons and everything that I wanted. Loaded them up with rucksacks, and we have Zana in the front here. Behind her is going to be my leader, Jerry.
Time for me to
And
get to
then my
work.
last guy is Juanan, my heavy
Great,
hitter.
brainless.
I definitely like where all three of them are at. Unfortunately, I waited
Brainless are
in
gone,
like
so
a
it's
whole
time for us to
week
claim
in my
this
last
place and
game
move
looking for a
in.
rare skills trader, and I never found one. I waited until like day 17, and none showed up. So I was like, whatever. I
Can't
just
let that
finished it
screamer call his friends.
and moved on. But so I don't have soundproofing, which is what I really wanted from the rare skills trader. From my experience in Nightmare, I I failed my first attempt on Nightmare because I had a ridiculously horrible attack in my base. It was just a regular attack, but it evolved into this big, huge, ridiculous nonsense with two Juggernauts and two Ferals and Screamers and all this. So that was my first failed attempt. So after that, I've been really focusing on keeping the noise down, making sure I keep the attacks to a minimum. So unfortunately, I don't have soundproofing. I'm probably going to die, but whatever. I didn't want to wait any longer, so I just went for it. I came up with this whole 6-day or the whole 6-step plan I wanted to have done by like day 3. Um, so I start working on that immediately, trying to go as fast as I can while still trying to be careful. So I'm going to document this ridiculous trip through Lethal. Um, Hopefully everyone won't die, but I'm not getting my hopes up too high after what I've seen already. So for my first attempt at Lethal, I went for Providence Ridge. Mainly because there's one base that I really like here. It's the warehouse, which isn't the biggest base, but has a decent amount of space, and then it has the Clio drop you can clear to get another large slot later on. So I mean, I kind of like the location too. It's easy to get, only need 4 people for it. So, and I wanted to like really move as quickly as possible and then get well set up at my permanent base. So I went for that. And after getting set up at the initial base at the campsite, my step 2 of my plan was to immediately go out and get a van, because that's my favorite vehicle for toughness, which is what I wanted in the higher difficulties. It's so easy for vehicles to fall apart. It's not the best to drive, but the upgraded van, as far as I can tell, is the toughest thing I've driven so far. But that was way too overambitious. It was foolish for me to assume that I could find a van or any kind of vehicle. I drove just a big circuit around the main area of Providence Ridge, and I only saw one
Might be
other
getting too much
vehicle,
here.
which was the pickup truck. So rather than just get hung up on it and waste all my gas, drive around forever, I decided to just settle with the pickup truck. I figure it would be at least more durable than the starter car, the Moraga or whatever it's called. And then next would be to start up with your nearby allies that you get the quest to kill the plague heart. So I'm just gonna get started on that. Try and kill the plague heart right away. Get them as an ally. Recruit somebody immediately so I can get 4 people and get moved into my main base.
Helping out like this is a good way
So
to
here
make
we go.
friends.
My first real mission on Lethal, going out with my boy Juanan. Take out this first plague heart. He's my heavy hitter. He's definitely my favorite for combat. I have the heavy weapon with Powerhouse, which is so strong. The heavy weapons let you hit multiple zombies at once, knock them down, and of course they cost a lot of stamina, but with Powerhouse, it's like the same as swinging a regular weapon. So I'm just gonna scout out the area first. Thankfully, even on Lethal, the first day, there's not really anything around Plague Hearts. I thought I could jump over that. I thought you'd do the little hop over. Oh well. Um, yeah, so, but I always just scout it out and see if I can see it through a window. That's the biggest thing I look for, because I don't want to go in there. I know it spawns zombies when you go in. So I just look for a shot through a window and just hit it with all the firepower I have, try and take it out in one shot. Though I'm expecting on lethal, I'm probably going to have to do a lot of hit and run just because it's going to be so difficult. I know later on there's going to be tons of zombies around. So, yeah, and there it is. And that's definitely an angle you can hit it through. But they're so freaking durable on lethal, as we're about to see. It's going to be real hard to take them out in one shot. So I'm going to have to do a lot of hit and run. I'm all nervous just because at one shot I'm waiting to get ambushed by a bunch of zombies. So I brought my grenade launcher, which is one of the big weapons I wanted.
Fire in the hole!
And I just brought what ammo it can carry, which is 12 grenades. And even that is not enough. I think I might have missed a couple of those last couple shots. So I was shocked that 12 grenades was not enough because I think 7 or 8 was enough on Nightmare. Or maybe it was Dread, though. Maybe I'm not remembering right. In any case, that's a lot of grenades. So I try and hold my ground and fight off these zombies, but I don't have that many resources, even like snacks and stuff to restore stamina. So I really don't want to use any yet, and I'm out of stamina, and there's a lot of zombies. So I just decided to get out of there. Even though, because my plan failed with the van, I thought to myself I had to be much, much more careful with the vehicle. I even considered not killing the Plague Heart and just going to kill Plague Zombies to get the samples for these guys, just to get the mission done. Just so I could be more careful and try and spare the vehicle. As you see, if you do hit and run tactics like that, there's a very good chance of the zombies getting on the car. Luckily that wasn't too bad, but the damage adds up so quick on this difficulty. So always a good tactic to drive away and come back when you're fighting a Plague Heart. It seems like any zombies that are really pulled in by the Plague Heart, anything that spawns to defend itself, you drive away and come back, they'll be gone. And that happens a lot, not just with Plague Hearts. And there's my arm shooting up. I don't know what the heck that. I've never ever seen that before. I get distracted for a second trying to figure that out. Thankfully, 12 grenades almost got it. So now I'm just going to go back to the truck real quick. I got to clear out those first few zombies and drop off all my stuff, go in to loot the Plague Heart. But it's not going to be that easy. There's way more zombies in here than I thought. I thought there would just be a few and then they just start coming out of the woodwork. It's nuts. And he gets like real glitchy too. One on as I'm trying to swing that axe. There we go. That's better. That's better. That was good. That's what Powerhouse is supposed to look like. That first hit, like, I had to wait until the animation, it was like the longest animation ever to finish before I could hit again. So run out, recover some stamina. I try and conserve my stamina restores as much as I can, so a lot of times I'll just limp away from the zombies and try and wait for the stamina to come back. So even that was, you know, way worse than you'd find on any of the other difficulties, that little fight, especially on day one. But thank God, this Plague Heart is done. Nothing really too bad happened. A little bit of damage on this guy, a little bit of damage on the car. So after turning in that quest and all my loot from the Plague Heart, I just come out to do some more scavenging. Really low on fuel, so I wanted to start with that at the Spare Oil station right over here.
No more deadheads here.
Thankfully, I could just fast search all this stuff since I have stealth. I always go for stealth for the Wits specialized skill, so you can fast search without alerting anything, especially when there's already on day one hordes that big wandering around. Definitely not used to seeing that, so stealth is definitely going to help me go a lot faster. So I do some more looting out there, and then I head back, and I'm about to have my first encounter with the Plague Feral. There he is. My first time hearing that horrible hiss that they do. So I'm like, okay, whatever. It's probably going to follow me. I switch to my rifle as I'm parking. And totally miss. Finally get some shots on it. See that headshots don't take them out. So I'm just trying to, and I run out of ammo. They have a little armored shell. Their skull is like armored. You have to break it first. So I finally broke it. There you can see at the end, it's like glowing red. Right as I ran out of ammo. Switch to my crossbow and try and shoot it with that. Yeah, right. Unfortunately, none of the AI managed to hit either. So I just finally grab some more ammo as it's mauling everybody. Reload. And at last, take it down. So that was terrifying. I don't think I even really expected them to be that tough. And I went through way too much ammo. Any other difficulty, you can take them out in one shot to the head. And they do plague infections so fast. So, and that thing was badass. It was on top of me, like throwing this guy around like he was nothing, like he was a chew toy. I did not see that coming. I knew they would be more difficult, but I was hoping I could still kill them with one headshot. So after that, I let Honan rest, swapped out to Zana, went and recruited somebody from that ally we got. I recruited Claire, who had the best stats and no pre-existing skills, so I could have her learn whatever I needed her to. Did some more looting around the area, and then went out to kill this first infestation that popped up. I was already pretty freaked out as a couple screamers went off right outside this little area and brought in that juggernaut. So I just went right up on this roof, and luckily the infestation is right there, so I'm just gonna snipe these zombies out. Thankfully they're drawn towards their dying comrades, and I can just keep sniping them as they come out and check on the location of the juggernaut. Unfortunately, this does go through a lot of ammo, and I only brought 20 bolts with me to start out, but I'm definitely trying to be as careful as possible on lethal. So next I had the simple task of collecting more construction materials because I wanted to bank some up before I move, so I'm ready to build at my new base. So I go to search this shed nearby, and okay, there's a zombie on the floor, sure, like there usually is. There's 2 more zombies. I'm like, okay, that's more than I'm used to seeing on lower difficulties, but let's keep going. And then they just keep rising up off the floor, and I look at the dots on the minimap. I'm like, oh my god, how many zombies are in here? And I know it's and then I get stuck on them trying to get out because there's more laying on the floor. So I know I'm getting into a fight, and it's just gonna draw all the zombies from outside. So I'm like, okay, I'm getting the heck out of here. I've never seen that many zombies in a little shed like that. I don't know if I've ever seen it. And there goes my plan for trying to be more careful with the car. But I was so freaked out by how many zombies were in that little shed. Like I said, I don't know if I've ever even really seen zombies in a little shed like that, so I just book it the heck out of there. And okay, that's good. I think my construction materials are good for now. Let's just head over and get the next base set up. The timing worked out pretty well though, because I just got alerted to a zombie attack coming into the base, so I'm gonna avoid that one by just moving in the middle of it. But I'm not 100% sure if this is the right call still, moving so quick when my resources are so low. But I really just want to get, to my permanent base, so everything I build is going to be permanent. I don't have to worry about moving again and getting more materials, and just get well set up as soon as I possibly can. So here's the warehouse I was talking about. I really like this base, mostly because it's so easy to get, and it does have a decent amount of space still. So I just saw that bloater pop up on the mini-map. Thank God I saw that. So, well, I would have seen him through this window easy anyway. So I'm like, okay, just shoot the bloater through the window. Good thing he wasn't going down. Get that done. And then there's one zombie that jumped out. So at this point I'm thinking this is going to be not that hard. It's going to be pretty safe. I mean, in the past when I've gone to clear out new bases before I take them, I haven't really had that much of a problem. So I'm like, okay. Let's open this up. I look inside and I don't really see anything. So I'm like, okay, let's head on in.
We ain't alone, of course.
And then I hear it and I'm like, go get the heck out of there. I switch to my shotgun as quick as I can. And here he comes. Oh, that nasty bastard. After that first encounter, I'm like, I'm bringing the shotgun. I'm not messing around with these guys. I'm bringing the shotgun. Of course, that caused a huge amount of noise. So the zombies, the minimap is just full of green dots back in that base. I'm like, okay, time to use the drive away and come back tactic. Worked like a charm. Not even any zombies left. It's probably what I should have done as soon as I saw that first bloater. But whatever. Got the new base set up, thankfully. So this I intend on being my permanent base. There's only one large outdoor slot, but there's like four small slots. And then, like I said, there's a Clio drop you can clear out eventually for more space later on for the late game. And all those beds, definitely a decent amount of beds to start out with. I like that a lot. So, gonna try and stay here. Oh, I forgot to mention she has so much infection already, because as I was leaving my base to go out on this latest mission, I ran directly into a plague bloater that was disguised in the remains of a previous plague bloater who had blown up. So that was nice. Now, Wanan finally recovered from his infection, so I'm going to take him out because everybody was so depressed because I have such low resources. I made this move so quick. I went out here to try and get some food. This is like 200 meters away from the base, and there's 2 plague hearts right nearby. So this is going to go very, very similarly to that shed where I went to get the materials. Still paranoid about my flashlight attracting them, but I'm pretty sure it has no effect. Very paranoid at this point. I'm like, oh, there's a lot of them. I'm like, okay, I guess I just gotta do it, and immediately get tackled and get like so much infection. Look how fast that infection went up from 1 hit. Like, oh god.
My last legs here.
Definitely considering just booking it out of here at this point, but I'm like, no, I just got to do it. So I go back in for another attempt, clear out these couple zombies in my path, and head back inside. And thankfully, I guess, you know, those were the ones that followed me outside. There's only going to be 1 more zombie left in here. So this definitely, I mean, I don't know if it was worth it, but I guess this is what you got to do on lethal. And then I go out to get more materials to keep building up and upgrading my base. Simple enough, right? I got the materials heading back, and I didn't even hear this one. There he is. Boom. Plague Feral in the distance. I'm like, oh, nope. Turn around, turn around. I'm like, oh, God. Get the shotgun out. Like, okay, he didn't detect me yet. Maybe I can just run to the car. That's what I'm thinking right now. Go to the car with that last hiss. Yeah.
Yeah, those blood
He
ferals
sees
are
me.
quick.
And here we go again. Doesn't even freaking look like a zombie. Thankfully, you can kick his ass with the shotgun, but I don't know about all the other zombies coming in. And I get in the back door. Perfect. That was a little bit of a rush there. It took me that much longer to start up the car. Get the crap beaten out of this thing again. The worst one so far. You see how quick, you know, that was the first damage on this since I repaired it last. I didn't repair it to full, but still, it just disintegrates zombies when you're playing on lethal. So, that was another Juggernaut. That was my first session on Left 4 Dead, another great game, on State of Decay 2 on lethal, which is the highest difficulty. What, 3 Plague Ferals? Turned out to be quite a bit harder than I was expecting. My vehicle's falling apart, but my plan is going okay. This is what I wanted to do. This is only the first night still, I believe, and I got moved into the base I want to be my permanent base. Even though my resources are quite low, I'm going to focus on going out and scavenging as much as I can, even though, like, it seems 75% of the buildings on lethal are empty. But that's what I'm going to be focusing on next. Just get a good stockpile of resources built up to sustain me for a little while. Get my base upgraded a little bit so I have a good foothold, and then work on killing all those plague hearts. Get a start on it at least. So thank you for watching. Hope you learned something from my many misadventures. I'm sure there will be many more.